Okay, we're back and we're looking at our run forward. And I can see that our root motion isn't quite right. So, however I calculated it last time, just forget all that. Let's start over. But in this video, we'll be looking at our root motion here. And then once that's set, we'll start looking at a back locomotion and then go from there. All right, so let's look at our root motion. First of all, let's break this tangent on our left foot so that we can have some linear movement here. And go ahead and break that one too, see what that does. And then there we are. We have just linear as I just moved those tangents. So we're talking about, what was the math here? Let's bring back over our calculator. We have a 38 here. Let's copy that, paste that here. Oh, we want, what was it? That silly thing that we did times -1 here, because this is a negative value. Copy this. And then we're going to plus our negative here. We have a 103. How many frames is this over though? So we want to see how far we're moving over these 6 frames. So divided by 6, and we'll times that by our 24 frames per second. So that number should be the amount that we need to travel over 24 frames. Oh, we'll put that at frame 24 there too. We'll see if that looks all messed up. It's a little bit better. Great. So I think we've calculated that correctly. So we took our left foot, how much it's moving from planted position to planted position backwards. And then we divided that by the number of frames that is moving backwards. And then we multiplied that number by our frames per second, which is 24. And then we set our value here. So that's the value we got. We got a 415 and some such. And then we went to our global control, which is where we're doing our root motion. And we set that value to our 415 and some such at frame 24. And now our character is now moving at 24 frames per second. So what we'll do here is we'll grab our animation here from our left foot, and then we'll delete this. We'll paste it. There we go. Maybe it'll paste. There it goes. Paste on our right foot. We should see something like that. We'll paste it again at frame 14 to have that cycle. Zoom out. Come here to our frames. Minus equals 7 because our cycle, half our cycle is 7 frames. And then now we have our feet going with root motion a little bit better. Now we're moving the distance that we should be moving. Okay, so we fixed our root motion. Now let's do this one. Rename this. We'll make a backwards. So we're going to call this run forward. And then on this one, we'll call this, whoops, rename that root run forward. Okay, so we'll save this. Then what we'll do is we'll duplicate our layer here. We'll duplicate this and we'll duplicate these 2 layers. Okay, so we'll mute these layers. We should be back to where we were. We'll rename them so we don't get confused. This will be run back. And this one will be, rename this to run back. Root. There we are. So on our root motion, all we're going to do is come here. We'll negate that. So it'll be a negative value. So now we're moving backwards. On our run backwards layer, we'll select our keys, or select our objects. Whoops. I misclicked and hit remove selected objects. And it's thinking. And now select objects. Oh, it's still there. Okay. I'm not sure what I selected. So we're going to delete everything outside of our frame range here. And we're going to select it all. And this might work. We'll see. We're going to go to our frame section, hit times equals -1. And then we'll move it all back. So we should be cycling our feet backwards. So all we're going to do here is, now that we've got a run backwards, we're going to take what controller is this? Our body control. And we're going to offset it to where it looks like we're leaning backwards. Let's get our move, translate Y and move this backwards a little bit. That way it just looks like we're moving backwards now. We're going to take our head and which rotation is that? That's X. We're going to rotate that down a little bit so it still looks like we're moving forward and not up. I still think we can probably rotate this back a little bit more, get us leaning. And we'll fix some of this lean with our back a little bit, our top spine, and then our head. And then what we can do is take which rotation is this? This is Z, I think. Let's do one arm at a time. We'll take our right arm here. It's just coming up a little too high. So that's this value right here. Okay, so we can take both our curves and it should be this value here. And let's see here. I think we might just be able to move our Z down a little bit. Maybe not so much, but we can take that, just move it down like that. Okay. So like I said, we're not going for perfection, we're going for speed. So now we have our move backward. So cool. Let's keep going. We're going to duplicate, I'm going to rename this. Something about this lowercase f is bothering me. So what we're going to do is make a left and a right. So we need let me just duplicate these layers, not delete them. Save it, duplicate. And we'll mute those. We should have our run forward. What we're going to do is go ahead and rename these again so that we can stay crystal clear. We're going to do a left, rename, and left. There we are. And rename this one. It's got to have that underscore. Okay, we're good to go here. So we're going to take our root, and we know we're traveling on Y here, so Y is forward and backwards, and our X is left and right. We're going to take this animation, copy it, and paste it to our right curve. Now we should be moving diagonally, but that is not where we want to be. So we're going to take our Y curve and set that back to 0. And now we're moving left. So we'll save that. So what we're going to do is, second thing is we're going to take our character here, our body offset control. We're going to rotate that 90 degrees like this. It's a -90. So we're going to copy that across our animation, across all our keys. So now we're moving left, but this is a more of a strafe movement. So what we want to do is keep our character looking forward, which would be where the arrow is pointing here. So what I want to do is probably not so great with these controls here. So what we're going to do is add a new layer. Let's see how far we get with this. And take just those controls, our shoulder, clavicles, upper arms, and all our torso. And go ahead and take our body control there too. Add a new layer. We'll say run left, look forward. And from here, select objects and we'll set a key. All we're looking for, we'll do kind of our bulk of it with this curve right there, with this controller right there. Let's turn off root motion for now. Right there. There we are. So now we have our character running in place. And then what we want to do is just to bring in some of that rotation here. We know we need to offset these a little bit. Let me redo that torso rotation. We'll select our upper arms. We'll go to world and just try to rotate that all together. And then we'll fix our head a little bit too. And looks like we've got some ugliness here. Okay, do I like this key? This position? What are we doing here? And what we can do is set a pass-through key here so we can get it back to normal. Just see if we like that better, and that's fine. And here on the left arm, on frame 7, we'll fix that forward position here. And then on frame 14, we'll set a key, copy, and paste that over from the first key. And we'll offset it just a little bit. And then we'll middle mouse click this time to copy it, and then we'll paste it by setting a key. Okay, not a fan of that pose right there. This might be a little too far here. So just rotate that back a little bit. And then we'll take these keys from frame 1 and paste it over. Okay. Again, we're going for speed. So this can work. It's not great, but one of the other things that we could do, is it in this? I don't think I added it here. No, we'll take our pelvis control and add it to this offset layer. So we'll set a key and make a tiny adjustment there. And then we'll just work with that. So we have our left. And then what we'll do, so now we have our root. So there we are. We have our left movement. So let's save that. So again, we'll go ahead and duplicate all this. Then we'll get our right. So we'll mute this, get our names working. Right. And I'm going to pause it. So we're back and our layers are renamed. So we're moving left still while we want to move right. So we'll go to our root, take our root, and we'll just do the opposite here on our X value. So now we've got that. we will take our animation here and do the same thing that we did to get our backward movement. So we'll select our objects. Go ahead and delete all this stuff out of range. We'll take all our curves here. On our key value, we'll hit times equals -1. And then I think we can also hit plus equals 14. And now we have our backwards movement. So what we can do is go ahead and do our adjustments here. So what I'll do is I'll bake these layers down, or I'll merge them together. Keys only, sure. Okay, so now rename this one. There we are. And then we'll create a new layer with just some key controls selected. Just the upper body mainly. New layer. And we'll say run right back offsets. Okay, not too clever naming here. We'll select our controls, key, and then position as if we're moving in that direction. Okay, so now we're kind of moving backward. We'll fix the head. And we don't want the leg coming up too much there. Then we'll come down a bit and over a bit. There we go. Now that foot still, for the most part, stays on the ground. But what we'll do is we will have our torso rotate right there. Oh, I didn't add that. So let's add it. Select. Oh, we'll just be in that layer. Interesting. Let's delete that. So if we select here, our objects, okay, there, our pelvis control or hips control is there. Come to 7, set some keys. That should help the foot stay on the ground. Cool. So now we've got our backwards right. And we can undo some of this move here and rotate back a little bit more. Now we're just fooling with it. So we're rotating backward and moving back here. So that's good. Rotate that body control. Frame 7. We want that more out here. Let's fix this head. Get it looking over the shoulder a little bit more. And we want that on frame 1. So let's delete that move there. And we'll paste that move over. So we'll do the same thing with this upper arm. Kind of fix this pose here. We should be backward here a little bit. And then we'll paste that pose again. All right, so let's get rid of the root motion so we can see this cycling in place. We are a little down. Okay, that feels a little bit better. Feet need to be worked on, but that's okay. We're going for speed. That's right, speed. Okay, so now we have a forward, a backward, and a left, and a right. So cool. So let's go ahead and save these out. And then we'll do diagonals if we need them. Okay, so let's mute all these. We'll take our run forward. Go back over here. We will say bake animation. We'll just hit anims. We're going to do a new folder here. We're just going to call this tutorial. And a new folder in there. Call this loco. And here we're just going to say run forward animation sequence. And we're exporting. We're not changing any of these settings. Usually just leave them all to default. So now we're going to do a backwards. Going to bake anims tutorial loco. Run backward and export. Then we'll do a left version. Bake that down. Unarmed. Tutorial loco. This is a left. And now we'll do the right. We're baking. Anims tutorial loco. Right. Hit OK and export. So we're going to check out those anims. Go to our content browser, go to characters, mannequins, anims, tutorial, loco. And we're just going to save all those. We're going to go to our run forward. Okay, looks good. We're going to go to run left, run right, and run back. Okay, so what we're going to do here is right click, asset actions, edit selection and property matrix. We're going to go to our root settings, wherever those are, down here. We'll just say force root lock and enable root motion. Then we'll save that. That way we get the root motion value, and we'll be playing this in the animation blueprint. So we aren't going to actually be translating the character outside the capsule. So the next thing that we'll do, and the last thing that we'll do for this video, we're going to create. We'll just right click. I think I want to make sure I have the correct skeleton up first. Okay, I've got that selected, and we'll come to our SK mannequin in meshes. Okay, got it. Loco, we'll right click, create a blend space. And SK Manny, we want to check the folder, mannequins meshes, got it. So we'll call this blend space loco. We'll save that. We'll come here and we'll go to our horizontal and we'll say direction. And our vertical will eventually be speed if you wanted different speeds. So our direction goes from a negative 180 to 180. And our speed, I don't know yet. Let's just say it's 600. Then we'll save that. And then we'll drag in our animation. So we'll drag in our forward. And then we'll hold left shift to snap. We'll just place it there. We'll do backwards on the sides. Backwards are 180s. And then on our left over here. And then our right over here. And our right should be at negative 90. Our left should be at negative 90. Our backs are at 180 and negative 180. So if we hit control, we can see, oops, that should be a run right. That's this one. So we'll fix that. There we are. So we've got our blend space. And in the next video, we'll hook up our blend space into an animation blueprint. Cool. All right. Happy animating out there. Best of luck to you.